It is always important to get context on these big issues from experts who have direct knowledge in the field. And so we're happy to say that joining us now live is aviation analyst Michael Boyd of Boyd Group International. Michael, thanks for being with us here this afternoon to lend some expertise to this. We've been waiting to hear from Southwest. They were there on Capitol Hill today. Some people have been accusing Southwest in the lead up to this of knowingly overscheduling flights, which caused the meltdown. From what you've been able to see and from the testimony that we've heard so far, is that fair for people to be accusing Southwest of that?
No, their schedules are set months in advance. And unless they're, Svengali or something can see the future, they had no idea this was going to take place. They were overwhelmed by a weather situation that they could not have foreseen. That doesn't give them a walk on it, but they were overwhelmed.
Is there a difference to be made here? We did note that some other airlines were pulling back just because of a lot of the pandemic challenges that they've been facing, that they were pulling back going into the holiday season. Southwest was, going at sort of full tilt. But that is different to say, hey, we're going to, try to do our usual schedule that we used to do back in 2019. That's different than saying we're going to overbook.
Well, the point is, they couldn't see this coming. If we hadn't had that ice storm messing up the world, we wouldn't be on this conversation right now. But they were caught. They're going to be a better airline. Look, it's a great airline. It's got challenges in front of it, but it's a great airline. It just ticked off a couple million people over Christmas.
Yeah, that's not a minor thing there, but good for them in the sense that they have a customer base that has been so loyal over the years and that just loves Southwest Airlines. So is that repairable, do you think? Do you think that they'll be able to keep those people and lure them back? It probably went a long way that they gave out all of those frequent flyer miles.
Well, actually, groupies at a Grateful Dead concert aren't as loyal, to be very blunt. But this really did screw up several million people's Christmas. So they're going to have to build that back, and they're going to do some other things. But look, Mr. Watterson and Swap and these people, they're going to make it happen.
What sorts of things do you think, if you could just tick off one or two things that Southwest really needs to do to make this right moving forward? A, so that this doesn't happen again, and B, so that they actually are able to convince people who loved them before that it's not going to happen again and to stay with them.
Well, I think Bob Jordan's gone out of his way. I mean, he's been 2 or 3 steps ahead of the Department of Transportation in doing things, and that's good. But one of the things is, this is not a normal situation like when I was at the refund department at American. It was paid less used. Right now, if someone comes in with something as I missed my entire cruise, they have some responsibility to pony up for that, and they're going to do that. It's going to be very expensive, but they're going to make it right. There's no question about it. These are the best people in the industry. Okay,
so that is company specific. Before we let you go here, I'd like to know what you think industry-wide, because obviously this has gotten the attention of Congress, and there's a lot of questions being asked about this. What do you think this is going to do as far as impacting standards across the airline industry?
Well, when you let Congress loose with it, nothing's going to be good. Number one, because they don't know what they're doing. They want to grandstand. One of the canards out there is seat sizes shrunk over the years. That is not true. Seat size width has actually grown. But we get these things about how they charge children for seats to sit next to their parents. Airlines have to address those things to make sure that as we used to say in school, the occasion of sin does not arise.
It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward, but always great to get this kind of insight from somebody who knows and has been on the inside. Michael Boyd, aviation analyst with Boyd Group International. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing that with us today.
Thank you, sir.